Hi guys, it's Cindy Leach, your Polymer Clay tutor. In today's studio tip, I'm going to show you how to choose the right brush for adding glazes to polymer clay. Now, first of all, what I'm going to do is explain to you a little bit about brushes and what are the right types. There's a few different types out there. And a lot of people, when they're adding glazes to polymer clay, they get streaks in there, they have little hairs falling out, they're having issues with getting a nice smooth finish. And part of it is because of the type of the brush that you're buying. Now, when you're ever working, well, most of the time when you're working with polymer clay, you're going to be using finishes like these ones back here. We've got Sculpey Glaze. It's not really my favorite, but there's some of these other ones here. Golden varnishes. I like to use the golden glazing medium. It's a great one. There's also Liquitex matte varnish. Some people still use Future. And I've also used Minwax Polyurethane. Now, there's lots of them, trust me. But most of them are water-based, which means that you need to use a synthetic brush. Now, there's a couple of different kinds. I've got a package of brushes here. These are synthetic brushes, and these are the natural bristle brushes. Now, they come in lots of different shapes and sizes. Both types do. The synthetic ones, being synthetic means it's man-made, which means it's basically kind of like a nylon or type fiber. And the natural bristles are made of different types of animal hair. This one actually happens to be a camel hair brush. Poor camel. But anyways, what synthetics are used with water-based products because the bristles won't swell up and in the water. And so they'll handle the water quite nicely if they're synthetic. The natural bristle brushes are used for oil-based products. Oil-based products and their solvents to clean them up and stuff will melt the synthetic brushes. But on the natural bristles, they will, the oils and things will work like kind of like your hair, and it kind of moisturizes it and stuff. So there's a reason why you use the two different types of brushes. There's also different types of brushes for that are different shapes. That was easy for me to say. So this is what would be called a flat brush, and it's perfect for varnishing flat areas, and it's great for varnishes and finishes and glazes. I'll talk about that in a sec. There are also round shape brushes. These are not that great of a shape for doing flat surfaces or even adding glazes because it just comes to too much of a point. This is more for painting and doing details and different types of strokes and things. There also is different types of, I don't know what they call it in brushes. I'm not an expert in brushes, but there are fine bristles and coarser bristles. These ones are quite coarse. If you use a really coarse bristle brush on a glaze, you're going to leave a lot of streaks in the finish. These super fine ones, the bristles are just so fine that when they go across your project, and this actually happens to be a little polymer clay painting. The whole painting is done in polymer clay, and I'll put the finish on it in a second. But when you're running across a finish like this, or a surface like this, these little tiny bristles won't leave any brush strokes, whereas a coarse bristle brush like this will. And then if you're using something like a round brush, you're just going to get a little point at the end. It's really not that effective. Okay? Even rounder surfaces, like a whole bunch of beads, will work nicely with a flat brush, and you can leave them on their bead pins and just run your finish over the brush. Brush it over your beads and things like that, and then put them on the rack to dry. Obviously, big sponge brushes aren't going to be very effective. They'll leave streaky marks and that kind of thing. Plus, they load up with a lot of finish which you're going to have to wash out later. These are better for different types of projects. All right, I got this package of 10 different flat brushes. Some of them are angle brushes, some of them, there's a couple of round ones in there, but they're a really nice little set, multi-purpose, synthetic. And these I got at Michael's for quite inexpensive. I actually can't remember the price, but just about any one of these brushes would work great. But the larger the brush you can use, the less brush strokes you need to cover the surface, and the better you'll get finish for it. So I would use this larger brush out of the pack to put a coating on this little painting here. Oh, and I should say one more little thing about the different synthetics. This one is white synthetic. This is also synthetic. It just happens to be in a color, so it has a little bit more of a natural bristle look to it, but it's actually a synthetic. So usually it'll say on the package, but watch out for that as well. Okay, so I'm going to just use some glazing medium on here. I quite like this glazing medium. Generally, I sand and buff my pieces, but sometimes you're not going to sand and buff like this with this little painting that I'm working on. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on it soon. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this glaze on here and just use my brush and spread it on. I will go into all the surfaces. I don't want it all puddling up on my piece, but you can see, especially with the light stroke, that you won't have any brush strokes once I work it in here. So I'll just get it on, spread it over the whole surface. I'm having quite a bit of fun figuring out this tutorial. It's I've done paintings before, but never this tiny and never with only polymer clay. So it gives you the opportunity to get quite a bit of dimension and things to the piece, because polymer clay is also dimensional, but you can also spread it out and blend it and do some really cool things. So I would just do this until I got it nice and clean looking. I don't want it puddling up. And this particular glaze, I'll have to do a review on it sometime soon. It goes on kind of milky and then it dries nice and clear with a nice gloss on it. So there we go. That's how you do that. And then you want to always clean your brushes. It's super important. Clean them really well. I have a little bit drop of Dawn dish soap in here in this water. And you clean your brushes right away. You don't want to let it harden in there. Then you want to always pinch the top of the and reshape your brushes and let them dry that way. Then they'll always stay in great shape. If you don't do it, like the kids were doing with this one, look at it. It gets all frayed and wrecked, looking pretty quick. And then it's very difficult to get a nice clean finish with that, or smooth finish. So, oh, and if you do ever end up leaving paint in your bristles, you can clean them with rubbing alcohol. It'll break down the old acrylic paint. It doesn't work with oil paints. You'll have to use the turpentine and everything. But the acrylic paint, you can break it down with rubbing alcohol, get it clean, but it is hard on the bristles. It's kind of like putting something harsh in your hair and stripping it out. So it'll clean and you can kind of save them, but it is hard on it. So you don't want to do it on a regular basis. So I hope that was helpful for you and that you learned a lot of great tips from this video. And if you have any other suggestions or things that you would like me to show you in the future, that would be great. And chances are, if you have a question about polymer clay, I've probably already done a video on it. So you'll want to make sure to check it out and see if we've done a video. And if not, make sure to suggest the video so that we can make sure that every question is getting answered. All right, so we'll see you next time, and bye for now.